Okay, and we see preview going live. Okay. Actually, oh, this is actually kind of way off in the boonies relative to where everything else happens. So got you. I don't know how to update. Oh. Okay, making other changes in the other computer. We've actually got this up already. It's a little bit out of date now, but we'll refresh it soon enough. All right, so things we want to do are, first of all, and I guess we should refresh something that will actually stick around. First of all, well, I've got a couple of quality of life things to deal with. First of all, I've been lazy about my new tags, and that does not give me input focus. Now, I've done that before with the port, but I think there's actually a package that has some blessed ports for that. Focus. Working with records. Oh, interesting. He had a focus library, huh? 2017? It's not that old. Getting set fields. Be locked with abstraction boundaries. Yeah. As a focus is only one direction. It's not necessarily possible without changing the language itself. Yeah, I've got a work project with Monocle, and I can see a couple places where lengths are useful, but closure scripters, cursors. Oh, he has individual. Oh, okay. So the focus. .x. Oh, the focus has getting set, then he uses these accessors rather than having a record. Oh, okay. Anyway, that's a diversion. So low level, on document, on window. Scroll is his own thing. Okay, so dom.focus, dom.blur. And yeah, it does in fact use an ID. I probably did the same thing in my little library. So Elm package install. Oh, Elm lang dom. Oh, which means I'm gonna have to manufacture IDs for all of my. Well, I'm only gonna have one input at a time, right? Oh, this returns a task. Right, so I get the task and then I say what handler. Oh, it can only have an error. Silently fail the element invisible. So actually, I've already got something that... No, actually, it's not the view. Because we already have a thing. Host clicked user ID, control ID. Add channel, remove comment, add comment. Command.none. Oh no, add comment. No, create, yeah, on change. Oh, yeah, else it is the plus. Okay. So ID is new comment. So we have to bring in dom.focus add comment. Now, is it task.perform? Yes. Dom.focus. The only purpose of this is to get back an error that it failed. And actually, there's perform, which is specifically a task never. So that probably would not type check with something that returns an error. So we have to attempt with something. Oh, yeah, this is a message with the result. So in order to do this, we have to have a focused result error which we kind of don't really care about. Really? Except maybe to console log an error. Dom test dot attempt focused. Oh, and I need to get You cooking. Oh, my taskbar is being a jerk right now. Oh, Windows, why? Oh, you know what? You might actually have to relog. Guess we updated. I should check for history. Okay, cool. Oh. Is this a dom.error? Oh, it is a dom.error. Which can just be not found. So now what I don't know is if the timing works out on this. It does not. So that would have to be a time. Is this time? I could do an every, be a little bit weird. Process.sleep. Just say task X. So we need process, which you probably don't have. Process.sleep. This really shouldn't, you know, there might be a better way to do this. This does not work like JavaScript. I want to wait exactly one animation frame. And this gives me a continuous stream. Well, I mean, sleep 0 might actually do something. And then task, do we want like a map? No, this is more of an and then. And then we get the result of that, which we don't really care about. And then we attempt the resulting task. All right. Okay, that did not wait long enough. So now we get into arbitrary numbers. Or we're just not, or I've got the wrong key. New comment, not add comment. Yeah. Okay, that seems to be sufficient. Focus input box when adding a new tag. All right, a little bit of quality of life there. Checklist, input focus. Next bit of quality of life is I set up this thing where when I click on somebody to say, hey, maybe I want to host you, that is my way to trigger sort of a background update on usernames. But fetching the username currently automatically triggers fetching the stream update stuff, which means we can get an updated viewer count and it will resort everything. So, host clicked. Yeah, fetch users. We fetch the videos, we can do that. Fetch users by ID comes back on users. Users does fetch next stream batch. Oh no, actually pending streams. Those users. What does refresh do? We take live streams to empty. Do that in depending. So I could exclude user ID. And it's a dict, so it's really easy to check if there's already a stream there. Now, I could probably set up to use a different response since it's kind of doing a different thing. So add users takes care of itself. I mean, we shouldn't even really need to fetch next user batch or next stream batch. Wait a minute. And I'm calling different functions, right? Yeah, yeah, I'm calling different functions, so it's not even that hard to have different responses. Now we are going to be using the same decoder, so it's still going to be a list. So we're going to add users. We're not going to update the streams. We don't need to worry about doing batch fetching. It's still a user fetch error. And then fetch user host clicked. Fetch user by ID is going to be a user update. Now, this isn't necessarily an easy thing to trigger, especially since I'm going to have just reloaded. We can watch the requests going out and ensure we're not updating streams, however. Okay, no syntactical errors. So we got videos, we got users, no streams. And if we click around a little bit, nothing's restarting on us, even though, I mean, it might technically have changed. Do not update stream when refreshing username. All right, so that's the other little quality of life thing. And then the possibly much bigger project. So I'll think about this and see what it's looking like, is that I had somebody invite me to a community, and it's like, well, I kind of have to remember to go look to see if there are people in that community that I also approve of. So I was wondering, could I add, like, you know, fetch, and it'd have to be a, like, add community. Otherwise you've got, and I guess I could look up both, but that could get name collisions. I don't know if that's a thing. And I might actually have to go add some stuff to the Twitch library here, which doing that in dev mode gets a little interesting. Well, we're not going to add channels very often. Fetch users by login. Pending users? Yeah, we only do that for, actually, I don't necessarily need batch updates here. Maybe leftover from, yeah, when I was just loading a file and then go to look up the IDs to get the streams. So that's a little bit of an anachronism. So we want to have a thing where we could also look up communities. So we would do a fetch on community. I'm going to go over here real quick. Well, docs shouldn't require me to log in. Docs. Chat API. And looks like I might, yeah, a little bit too small there. Uh, well, I'd have to kind of resurrect some code for this. Yeah, because I used to have some V5 stuff, and I kind of completely removed it. Communities API. This is from 17. Exploring. Can I search users by a community ID? Because I could kind of short circuit this a little bit for my specific use case. ID login. Right, because communities are actually a lot. Ooh, yeah, communities are a live stream thing, not a user thing. So what about streams? After, before. Community ID. All right, so I can cheese this in as a constant right now. But I have to search by community ID. And I'm the only one on, so I'm not going to see the data from anybody else in it right now. Does that get networked here? Or is that part of the page? Stats. Wow. Interesting, is that? I wonder why his profile image is coming up. Interesting. Okay. Why were you looking that up? Unfortunately, this doesn't show the servers. Oh. Oh. Not quite what I was looking for, but... It's a document. So they might just be returning it as static stuff. Or as straight up HTML. Can I sort by this? NextAC. What's a service worker? That's interesting. So it looks like I'm going to have to dig up the API v5 code. Well, actually, we could cheese this for the time being. We could cheese this. So we should have just got all those requests. Users streams, the response. Oh, there's two communities there. Well, I mean, we can... I'm probably going to want to have the tags for that anyway. So at some point, we're going to need to have... Well, at some point, I'm going to have to persist this stuff, aren't I? So let's define the critical things would be storing about a community, but not actually put it in persistence yet. ID, we can look at v5 to see what kind of terms they use for that. Community reference. Parameters in the request body. Top communities. Are there no examples that there? Oh, all the examples are over in the other column. Oh, jeez. So it's ID. It's just a name for this one. Hostable. So users, games, live streams. If we did games by that, we should do communities by that. And for now, we need to do dict.fromList. And we don't quite know. So actually, this is a little bit awkward right now. We need hostable. And this has to be a community of same. And don't know. And then the other one, nope. Community A0. I guess I could just do the live stream query. So right now, FexNet stream batch. Okay, so really this is just when we put stuff into pending streams. List.map. List.concat. No, pending. Oh, pending streams is just IDs. It's not the same thing as pending requests. Oh, it's just dict.keys. Okay. But we actually have to be making a separate call to live streams here. Okay. So now we can have a pending community streams. We could actually fire that off sooner, but this is fine. Model dot communities imported. Would indeed need to do that again. Not users. Refresh. Add channel. Batch next user batch. Yeah, this is fired off in response to that event. All right, so then this. Admittedly, communities are not going to be necessarily ever as numerous. Do I even need to bother with pending here? It's still going to go into requests. Or do we just go into pending requests every time? Right, because we had a whole bunch of users and we wanted to sweep them up and the batches of 100. And occasionally I've had APIs that needed to send per user requests. Do we need pending community streams? When do we do that and not immediately fetch stuff? Refresh. Oh, refresh does users. Does it? Pending user streams, pending community streams. Oh, it happens up here. So could I just do pending requests there? Would we ever do that without doing batching? I don't think so. So that was actually unnecessary. So whenever we would do that, append requests. And now we're straight up fetching stuff. Oh, we got a straight up syntax error, huh? What wrong with that? Oh, got trailing commas. Okay, we compile. It's got a list of things to fetch. Ooh. Oh, I can just reload my JSON because I'm gonna. I don't necessarily want to remember these users. I just want to fetch the streams. Ooh. That. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have non-persisted users to put names to this. So for now, I'll just reload my last export. So append requests takes a model. Fetch streams. Fetch streams URL. All right, we only call it the once there. Oh, yep. So now we take all this. And for now, we return the same thing and see what happens. Fetch streams by community ID. Response streams. Type live first. User ID. This is v5. The streams request. Community ID. community IDs. And you're going to be the same, which has to get passed to here. All right, so now we can deal pretty much just with the startup situation. You know, I can probably find one of these as fetch streams. Fetch streams by community IDs. This.take. Patch size. Do I even care right now? Dict.keys. Model dot. Communities. Fetch, yeah. Had a little short circuit there. Community IDs. So we fetched for 2. All right, so I'm going to, Oh, it's going to be everybody in any of the communities. Okay. Yep, unknown. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to have to go one by one to figure out which is which as my interim solution. That's the easier one to remove. Unknown, unknown, unknown. Yeah, so that's programming. And probably it's just me right now, so that doesn't really add anything. Okay. So we can get the streams. We're going to have unknown people that I would have to go. We do have fetch user by ID. And fetch users by IDs, the user update, which no longer triggers a fetch request. So we would say pending users is initialized with name. Yeah. Oh, that could potentially be a large batch of usernames. Well, they're still just pending requests. But they could end up not properly batched. But it would attempt to save anything that we get as a user. Users, add users, persist. I might actually have to do like a separate section for community stuff, which would mean I need a separate streams list, a separate streams response to put things into that list, and then I guess you'd have to have a separate in-memory only user list with separate fetches just to look up the information. Ugh. Well, maybe I'll leave this for a little bit as a sort of whip. See how often unknowns come up, which it might not too much in this community, but I could have missed some people. And if it's an unknown, I'll know that it's something I can go check out to see if it's worth looking at in the if it's good for me. But meanwhile, we're not in the long run going to need that. Oh, and actually, that's a little bit of a test. Because in theory, I'm now going to show up as unknown. Yeah. Okay. But I can still attach stuff to player ID or to user ID. Oh, but that's going to be in their user record. Yeah. Can't even save it. Oh. Oh, that goes and does a user refresh. Interesting. Oh, actually, speaking of refresh, it's a little bit mixed paradigm. All right, so I might need a little bit of experiments with this, and it's getting to be it's getting around lunchtime, and I'm not entirely sure where I want to go with this right now. But if I do like a bigger community, like programming or something, I definitely want to have a separate section because it could get really crowded. So I guess what I should do is get checkout -b communities. Oh, you know what? Actually, I could totally, actually put the name here in the name field. So that's like what branches are for or something. All right, but that is it for now. I went ahead and did some little offline maintenance on the WinR1 Life client because it was just changing a number. Now we'll have to see how it actually plays. So that is what I've been doing in Saturday lately, so we'll see how the meta is updating there. it could be interesting because there's a little bit of bigger streamers on that lately. But we've got Hostable right here. So pretty much everybody here is decent, or they wouldn't be on the list. So he's doing hardware. I think I just hosted him a bit recently. So yeah, programming tutor, it varies. Sometimes he's working on his own stuff, sometimes he's helping people. So when he's helping people, he's talking and going through it. But if you got any programming questions, that's a good place to get them answered, although I'd be happy to answer most questions within my ability as well. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Speaking of hosts, thanks to Asarat Gaming, Pixel Logic Dev, Too Laughter to Cry, Deadly Tacos, Doggen Lake, Krokitsune, Haskin TV, Joey Sheffer AP, Ed Mix Games, and Stormy Ice Leopard for hosting me. Plan to be back this afternoon for 1 Hour One Life, and until then, bye.